Multiple travel warnings for LGBTQ plus safety have been issued against Florida.
The advocacy group Equality Florida said Wednesday it was taking the extraordinary step, quote, in response to a wave of safety inquiries following the passage of laws that are hostile to the LGBTQ community, restrict access to reproductive health care, repeal gun safety laws, foment racial prejudice, and attack public education by banning books and censoring curriculum. The warning came within hours of a similar message from the Florida Immigrant Coalition, which said travel across the state should be done with extreme caution because, quote, it can be unsafe for people of color, individuals who speak with an accent, and international travelers.
The LGBTQ plus advocacy group Equality Florida has issued that travel warning, informing individuals of the risks of visiting and relocating to Florida. The statement highlights the growing concerns of parents who are considering relocating students, unwilling to enroll in state universities and events and conferences that have been canceled due to hostile policies. The Florida Immigration Coalition also has issued a similar warning for immigrants. The Florida State Conference of the NAACP also voted to issue a travel advisory against Florida Board of Directors Chairman Leon W. Russell said, quote, any location in America where our history has been erased does not offer us or our children a bright future, end quote. Last year, Florida Governor Ron DeSantis signed the Parental Rights in Education bill. Critics have condemned the so-called Don't Say Gay legislation. The state also passed legislation censoring Black history taught in schools, as well as banning books on race and LGBTQ plus issues. This year, also, the trend continues with his administration finding ways of discrimination against the community. The governor's talking about expanding the law to all grades. He's quietly signed a bill that allows residents to carry a weapon without a license, training, or background check. Florida has also banned abortions after 6 weeks. I just don't even know what to say to this. Florida is a wonderful place. And I love living here, but what this guy is doing, I don't even know how it's happening. But I don't know how Trump got elected either, so the mysteries of the world continue.
Well, I mean, they get elected because our community doesn't vote. That's what happens, Amy.
Right.
So let's be clear about that, all right? Let's not pretend that, oh, this surprised us, you know what I mean?
Of the community.
It's, you know, that it's the delusion that a lot of people in our community have, that until it's right in their face, they don't believe it, okay? And I've got friends that will say, oh, we got gay marriage, we're done.
Yep.
And they stopped fighting.
Wrong.
Yeah.
Really?
And young people, you know, really don't go out and vote as much as they should. And that's unfortunate too.
Yeah.
And you know, and it's so funny because you from the story that you reported, it's like I challenge anyone to find a story of the good guys burning books and banning things.
Right.
I really challenge that because throughout history, it's always been the oppressive and repressive forms of government that try to ban access to knowledge.
It's based on fear. It's all based on fear.
All based on fear.
And it's, you know, it might be the last hurrah for, you know, that type of thinking in this country, but it's like they're trying to take us back 50 years. It's like, I don't want to do that. I don't want to go back.
And the ban, I mean, if I didn't live here,
You wouldn't believe it, probably.
no, if I didn't,
You wouldn't
I mean, it's embarrassing, and it's just really embarrassing.
Yeah.
But if I didn't live here, I don't think I'd even find a way to support the state and say like, well, you know, it still really gets. I would say like, that place is really effed up, and like, no, don't go there. I mean, I think I would be like on the bandwagon of, you know, not supporting the state, but I mean, I live here, so I mean, I got to support the state.
Yeah,
so
I know.
It's a really weird conundrum I find myself in, like, because I think he's just doing all this to get attention, and he's just pulling at straws because, you know, when we're looking at the presidential campaign, when it comes to a national campaign, he's going to be just...
You think so?
I think so.
Okay, well, I hope that your words are true, because
so.
I personally feel that he hates us. He doesn't want us to exist anymore, and he's going to do everything possible for us to be erased. He wants us to leave. He doesn't give a crap about us. He really doesn't. And every one of these bans and every one of these bills, I don't know about you guys, but when I hear it, I'm like, no, come on. They're not really going to ban Rosa Parks' book. No, Maya Angelou, come on. No, you're come on, that's fake news, right? And then I'll go look it up, and it's fact. You know, they want our children to be stupid.
Yeah, and it's
make, even though force them to be born.
Right.
But then be stupid.
And what's crazy about it is that, you know, gay people are not just made. Like, we are born out of other humans. So this whole thing about like trying to erase us, you can't erase gay people. And even if all of us left Florida, there will be a whole new wave of generation of queer people that are being born all the time. And that's funny thing, he's banning abortions, but it's like, if you really want to get rid of us, then tell people to stop having babies. That's the only way to get rid of us.
And and even, I mean, I certainly believe I was born gay, of course. But even if you weren't born gay, even if you choose to be gay, what difference does it make?
Why do you care who I'm in
what
bed
difference
with?
does it make if a person chooses to be gay?
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, what does it matter to you and your life and your lousy sex
shouldn't
life and your
matter.
what?
But those are closeted people that have self-loathing issues also. I mean, there's just so many around that, you know? I mean, I know your husband's a psychologist. I can only imagine what he thinks about all of this, you know? Because it's that cognitive dissonance. It really is like something like, it's in your face, but no, that's not really happening. No. What do you mean? No. All the drag queens are grooming the children. All of them.
Right.
We don't even like kids. Most of us don't have any. We don't even want any. We're the best gunkles and gaunts ever. We take our brothers and sisters' kids and then we give that little shit right back.
Right. I mean, do you think DeSantis really even believes any of the stuff that he's saying? I mean, I really don't know.
I think I really do think he hates it.
You think he does?
I think he has to believe it to a certain extent for him to push it so much. And what really gets to me is that the Republican Party is supposed to be the party of small government and non-intrusive ways of governing people, and they have become the most intrusive largest government policies anywhere.
Body and
they want to be everywhere. In your bedroom, in your bodies, in putting you in jail. They just want to do everything that is not what their party is supposed to stand for.
And just bottom line for the story, what do you think this kind of travel discouragement is going to do to our tourism and our economy?
That is our number one moneymaker here in Florida is tourism. That's where we get the most money from all of you folks coming to visit. And now an organization as respected and as big as Equality Florida is telling you to don't, okay? And, I have friends that have trans kids, and one of their thoughts was like, oh, let's go retire and move down there with our kid. I'm like, don't. Your kid will have no rights here. Please don't, And so for Equality Florida, a huge respected organization, to say something like this, it wasn't something that just came about, somebody woke up and went, let's just say nobody go to Florida. It doesn't work that way. This is just ban after drag bill, after this, after that. I mean, they're coming after us at all corners. And for women out there that are straight, that you think that they're not, look, they've come after our vagina, all right? Black folks that are out there, you thought they were coming for you? They're coming for you. They don't want any Black history taught at our schools, Now immigrants also, okay? They want, in Miami-Dade County, if you go find and you need health care and you don't have papers, they want those people to report you to the government now, all right? Florida was always a place that you can be okay until you were able to get your papers in order. All that takes money that a lot of immigrants don't have, okay? Everybody's at play. Everybody has a target in their back unless you're a white cisgendered man.
And I wonder, I'm very curious about the numbers for this year Miami Beach Pride, because I wonder if those numbers went below what they usually expect because of all of this craziness that's happening in Florida.
I didn't want to touch on that, Pastor Harold, but I will, okay? I had some women living the trans experience that I, love and adore, and I'm not going to mention names, but a few of them had certain altercations with people at Miami Beach Pride yesterday they'd never had before, okay?
Really?
People saying derogatory words towards them, people misgendering them.
People watching the parade or whatever.
Yes, or like if they were walking away saying something to them. So they are among us. They're filming us for their own stuff also. Yes. So they can go back and look what the homos are doing. Look what the queers are doing. And it was a family-friendly event where lots of people brought their children and they were in a safe environment and nothing bad was happening. But a video can be misconstrued however you want it to look. Yeah.
And we had some walkers for Safe Schools that their parents did not feel comfortable allowing their kids that would have gone before. They had been to previous prides to go to Pride because they felt that they were unsafe.
Yeah.
It felt unsafe. And I think this is new. I don't think this is something that we've seen before.
And how sad is it for an advocate to want to represent, we had that at Unity on the Bay. One of the moms also didn't bring her daughter that has been raised in Unity on the Bay. We have seen this beautiful little girl grow, and she's like, okay, well, now that Ron DeSantis allows anybody to carry a gun, I don't feel safe bringing my daughter to this. And she's always grown up with a pride event. Her mom is straight. You know, she's a wonderful ally. And at a moment I was like, but oh girl, we need to see your kid here so people can see how much we shine. But then with that same breath, I had to take that back and apologize and go, okay, you're a mom. You had to choose between the safety of your child and this event. And that's sad that you had to choose.
Yeah. And to be honest, like I also felt that sometimes I feel, you know, is this going to be the pride that something bad happens? You know, like it's just the fact that to think about that, it's so unfortunate again. It's like,
because he's allowing them to feel like they
Empowered.
can walk
Empowered.
around without
Entitled.
a gun and shoot whoever they want.
Exactly.
I mean, look at the news stories. It could happen to us. I hope not.
Dios
But
mío.
it's,
Well,
I don't even know.
Folks, pray for us here in South Florida.
Please,
all right? Send what is it? Send thoughts and prayers our way. We're going to need it.
We are Queer News Tonight, the world's first and only live daily LGBTQ+ evening news show from Happening Out Television Network. In the model of PBS and NPR, we educate, inform, and entertain by supporting the 10 pillars of the LGBTQ+ community, with more than 100,000 a week watching on Roku, Apple Television, and other channels. To keep the stories going, we accept donations with 100% transparency. Stay updated and live authentically with Queer News Tonight.